Here we go again. MASH presents King Talk 101. Today we have a special guest. You'd like to introduce yourself?
How y'all doing? My name is Kelly Burke. I am, am I supposed to just go? What we doing? I'm going to let you go back first. Well, my name is Kelly Burke, everybody. How's everybody doing out there?
Okay. Everybody, man, we tuned in, man. So, as we know, there's been so much going on in the community. You know, and it's that time to vote, that election time, and time to vote is very important. A lot of us, we don't really know the importance of it, or we don't really see the vision when it comes to voting and things like that, or let alone a lot of us don't rub shoulders or shake hands with guys or women who actually pushing to change the community, you know, change different parts of the world that so many of us are involved with. So today, you know, I have my guests, and I think it'll be very fruitful for all of us and to get a better understanding of the direction that we're headed. Okay. So who introduce yourself? Who is Kelly? Who is Kelly, man?
Kelly Burke is a native of Fort Worth, Texas, 38 years old. Husband, father, entrepreneur, businessman, and running for a local election. 2021, we'll be running for the mayor of Arlington, Texas. So very big deal. But originally I was going to plan on running for city council in the future. Didn't know when, but I feel like the time is now. So I have the kind of wife that is a research nut. She looks into everything. She has a big political background. And as we started looking into the mayor, the position of the mayor, what he does, the current mayor, the climate of that mayor and what people feel about him, how many votes he won by, et cetera, I was like, you know what? Let's do that. Okay. So I'm running as an independent, not Republican, not Democrat. I have no political affiliation in my background, so that's going to be a challenge as well.
Okay. So let me ask you this. How long have you been into politics? At what point in your life that you felt like, you know what, this is what I want to do?
I don't, that's still fairly recent, like the past few years. What got me into politics was a friend of mine. I can't go into that. My wife's always like, you always talk about other women. So I don't want to talk about the other women in my past like that. But it was a young lady that, petitioned me to vote years ago when Obama was running. For the first term. And I think that's when most black people woke up to politics, right? Mm-hmm. Because before that, I don't think we really didn't pay attention to it. We didn't think our vote mattered, or like nobody cared about, the presidency. So she got me to go vote, and it opened my eyes up to politics. Now, what happened from that point is I started watching his presidency very closely, and I didn't agree with a lot of things he did. So with that being said, it started making me dig deeper into politics, and what politics actually were and what we were affected from. And so the more I paid attention to it, the more I started understanding it, the more things I didn't agree with, the more things I hated, the more emotional I got behind it, because then the emotions come in. You know what I mean? As a man, you start figuring like, wait, this is a broken system. Is it rigged? And, so I go down all those things. And it still wasn't like I wanted to run. It was just I wanted to be more involved and more educated on the subject. And so I'll never forget, one night I was at the barbershop. Friend of mine owns a barbershop, and his mother asked me to walk her outside. It was late, and I walked her outside, and she was talking about something else. And in the middle of if you grow up black people, we say prophetic, right? Yes. She's prophetic. So she goes into these prophetic moments, right? And as she's talking, she just looks at me and said, "Oh, you're going to be a politician." I said, "No, I ain't." And she was like, "Nah, you're going to be a politician." I'm seeing it. I'm like, "Nah, I'm not going to be a politician." And, from that, she just snapped right back and started talking to whatever she was talking about. Mm-hmm. The same woman prophesied to me 5 years before that and told me I was going to own a gym one day, which I do now. And so it just sat with me. Then when I met my wife, I started to do research on her and, looked up on YouTube. She had been in debates before. She got a big political background, like a big reader, and so it sparked that thing again. Yeah. And, we kind of, toyed with the idea. And to make a long story short, I was pastoring all of last year, right? And the year before. So I started, 2018, 2019, I pastored. My boy Shane's in the studio. He's a pastor as well. But congrats on that too, man. So in the midst of that, she kept telling me that God said he's going to give me the keys to the city. And And I'm like, I don't know what that means. If you're a pastor or if you're in ministry and somebody says, God said he's going to give you the keys of the city, you like, I don't even want the keys of the city. Because in ministry, I'm like, I want the hearts of God's people. I'm not looking to get the hearts of people that don't want God. Because then you become it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
You're trying to pastor people that don't want to be in church.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't get it. I never got it. And she just kept saying it like month after month. God said, I'll give you the keys of the city. I don't know what that means. So when I finally came to the realization, like, okay, I think I should run. As I'm saying that, something dawned on me. I hit her. I said, you said he's going to give me the keys to the city.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the keys to the city.
Yeah.
It's a physical key to the city.
At the time, you couldn't even see that far.
I couldn't fathom it, but can we fathom anything? That if God drops something on you, how can you he's that big where you can't understand it. It takes something else to happen and this person to get put in this position or whatever. You know what I mean? In order for it to all work. It's like Shane, I just talked about him. Like me and him were friends as a kid. He was so influential in my life. I never told you this, but I looked up to him. Like he was like big brother to me. Like, you know what I mean? It's to see him now and to see where he is and to see what he went through as a man and to come back and like come all the way back around and to be as positive as he is now. I'm like, that's how God works with us.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? But we don't see it when we're in it. And now it's like, I don't argue with it. Now I'm fully like, because I pushed it at first, like, I don't want to be a pastor. I don't want to be a politician. I'm not trying to lead people. But you have to come to the realization that this is who you are. But I'm leading people every day.
And it goes back to, it's that purpose.
That's it.
You can't run from your purpose. If that's what your purpose and your calling is, we don't see it. Like I said, we can't fathom it. If I look back, I wouldn't even think why I'll be right here today.
Right.
None of us probably even seen that far.
Agreed.
Y'all were all running buddies and things like that, and we're all amazed.
Agreed.
So we don't ever really see that far.
And it's good you said purpose because you know when it's purpose when you don't have to push it. Purpose falls in line and it just happens. Like you wake up one day and you're like, man, how did I get this person here? Like how did I build this? How did this happen? Like that's purpose. Purpose happens. And it seems like in our lives it happened on accident, but because it's on purpose, that's how you know it's purpose.
It's on purpose.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So what is a major role for a mayor?
Well, the mayor is he runs the city. The mayor is the chief operator, executive. He's everything. If something happens in that city, whether it's law, the order of law, rule, guidelines, whatever happens in that city, it goes through the mayor. So he runs the city. Literally, when you say the key to the city, the mayor has it. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know if we can. I don't know how far to even ask this question. But what is it that you see that has been transpiring, especially in this city, the city of Arlington? At first, years back, Arlington was the suburb. Everybody was like, man, you don't want to go to Arlington, man. They not them boys in Fort Worth, man. Don't come to Arlington. That was always been kind of stereotype.
Yeah,
but
we grew up like that.
Now you actually have some of those guys that come from Fort Worth or parents and they're migrating in in Arlington, and you have a lot of crime being committed in Arlington and things like that. So what would be your vision on targeting that?
Crime or
crime? Let's speak crime.
I think the main thing is bringing awareness to people. So we could talk about policing and organizing the police to do this or neighborhood watch or all these different things. I think if you empower people to take care of their own neighborhoods, and it wakes people up, right? And so if people are more accountable and you have people like us in the neighborhoods that are more visible, then it could help with the crime because most of our crime, as we know, when you get older guys commit crime, but they commit it the smart way. Right? It's still crime. I'm not trying to say it's not crime. It's just behind closed doors. You might not see it.
Yeah.
Younger guys are more outlandish with crime, right? And so I think if we get more black, strong men and more men, period, in our communities and we start pushing them out of the communities and we start doing more community events and organizing and things like that and getting the youth involved, they see more positive people like us in the light in Arlington, I think it can help the crime all the way around.
And I think it's structured.
Agreed.
So it's structured. Again, it's like, when you take yourself out of the equation, you can kind of sit back, as we kind of discussed off of the area, you can kind of sit back and you can pretty much monopolize everything and see where a lot of things went wrong, and as mayor, I would say you probably can sit back and say, you know what, I know this would work differently this way, or I know I've actually had an encounter and I handled it this way, you know, and now here you are. You're not only speaking for self, you're speaking for the entire city.
Agreed.
To be able to make that transition.
Right, and a big part of crime, which we all know, is equated back to fatherlessness.
Yeah.
The most of us that commit crimes is because we didn't have a father in our lives. I'm not trying to say it's an excuse for men to commit crime. If we're talking about men,
Men. Okay.
I'm not trying to say it's an excuse because I had a dad, right? But he was on the outside. But it's still I had enough balance to be like, okay, when I'm getting too far, like let me, and he would kind of step in. Well, my friends didn't. My closest friends, that my dad was their dad. They didn't have that, and I think a lot of the mistakes and stuff that they made is because they didn't have that man there to be like, hey, you're going too far, son.
Absolutely.
Right? And so if we start addressing the homes as men and start addressing households that's probably one of the things that my platform is going to be based on is family. I think family is very important. The more people that see families together, strong families, men taking care of their women, taking care of their kids and their responsibilities, and loving on their families, it'll start giving people the desire to want to have a family again. Because right now our climate is not even about family at all.
No, not at all.
I'm not just talking about marriage, but just family. Period. You see what I'm saying? And the importance of the strong family, a unit. Right? If more people see that and we start speaking that more and seeing it more in our communities, that helps crime right there because you start feeling like I don't want to let my mama down, I don't want to let my wife down, I don't want to let my kids down. If I do this, I'm gonna be gone, right? And you know how much time you lose when you're gone.
Absolutely,
right?
And you can't make it up.
It never comes back. Now you learn from it.
And the thing about it is that when you go through those type of situations, at the end of that road, that family is who actually gonna go through all the struggle with you.
Yeah.
That family is gonna go through the struggle. The homies and everything, everybody who was around when we was committing a crime or thinking we was the toughest and biggest things on earth, they're gone.
They gone.
So it goes back to the family, go back to the structure. As you know, you've been hearing a lot of, Fort Worth is Arlington and everything like that you hear of the violence, and as you say, it goes back to not having that father or father figure, and it's definitely very important. I agree. So for us that don't know, like I said, I'm not big on politics. I'm learning. I'm learning as I go, kind of being tuned in. Like, why is it important to vote for a mayor, a senator, judges? And those different roles. What would be what I'm trying to say? Like your viewers and people who's voting. What would be so important? Why is it so important for them?
I got you. Okay. Well, I think one of the main things is if you have a moral or a belief or a system or something you stand for, right? You want this thing to be portrayed or pushed, right? Because this is what you believe in and you strongly believe in it. Not only you, but other like-minded individuals like yourself, right? So if you believe in something strongly, if you have these morals and these standards and you stand on this ground, right, and you push this to everybody, I believe in financial independence. I believe in education. I believe in self-empowerment. I believe in family. I believe in God values. I'm a God-fearing man. If you believe in all these things, right, and you want to see these things directly affected in your community, how do you do that? You do that by putting somebody in a position of power that believes in the same thing you do.
Absolutely.
So that's why it's important to vote, because if you say, okay, well, I'm not going to be in that position, but I want somebody to get in that position that believes what I believe and stands on the same ground as me, because I know if they get there, they're going to help rule our community and organize with the same beliefs and the same convictions as me. So if we vote, we empower that person to empower the people to be on one accord, because everybody's not going to agree, and that's fine. But if you strongly agree with something, voting is one of the easiest ways to make that thing happen in our area. And so I think that's one of the most important reasons why you should vote, because you want to empower somebody to get in that position so that they can stand on the same grounds that you have.
And I agree. And I feel like so many people, we complain, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. Well, if you really take the initiative to vote, then who knows? Your vote matters. Every single vote matters. But then you kind of catch a lot of people. I know a lot of people personally. Well, I'm not voting. It won't change anything. Well, no, it won't change anything because that's one less vote that they have.
Right.
So and then you're not doing your research as you spoke at the beginning. When you actually start doing your research and you know why you're voting, you know what this person's aim is going to be if they are elected for a mayor or a president, a judge, whatever change that you actually would like to see, that's
Definitely.
what you kind of weigh in on.
And I think we focus so much on the higher level of politics that we miss the local elected officials. And it's like we don't worry about that because we feel like we're not affected by that, right? But people that really understand the political scale, most of the stuff that happens at the presidency level in Congress, we sometimes aren't even directly affected by that. We're directly affected by what happens locally.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Because if they raise our taxes on gas and food and property here in Arlington or in Fort Worth or wherever your community is, you're affected daily. Absolutely. As soon as that goes into play, you're affected. If Congress passes something, you might not see that for a year or two, and you won't even know. If they change something in your paycheck, it could be $3. Nobody's gonna make a big deal about $3, but go to the gas pump and let it be $3 difference.
Then it's a problem.
Yes, sir. But we don't do anything about it, and then we don't even know who to go after. They wouldn't think, well, I'm gonna go down to City Hall and I'm gonna petition these people because you can call a meeting with your mayor, right? You can have a meeting with the city council. I've been to the city council meetings. We've sat in on them. You can raise your hand. They open up an open forum in there. And guess how many people are in there with us? 5 or 6? Because nobody knows.
And I think that's a problem what we're having too today because we don't know who's able to vote. We're not, and it goes back to doing research. We could say, oh, I'm a felon, I can't vote, or that's when so many people have cases and felons and things like that. So that's another thing we question, like who's able to vote. Or
I think they're trying to change that too right now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know how it's going to go into effect, but I know they're fighting to change that.
Yeah, so because somebody actually was talking to me about it, and they was like, well, man, you can vote, man. You off for parole or whatever the case, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I don't know, man. But
they're trying to change. They're trying to overthrow that.
I'm going to do it because it goes back to, I didn't watch the presidential debate the other day, but so many people talking about it. Social media is going bananas on it,
going crazy.
having different opinions on it, man.
Right.
I was like, but this is the world that we're living in, and if we don't vote, there won't be no kind of change.
Yeah, I agree.
There won't be no kind of change at all. So that's our thing, man. So, what would be like your encouraging words for the people out there, man, in Arlington and the surrounding area, especially Arlington? That's where you're actually voting.
Definitely
on that.
I would say to the people that nothing starts big. Like I built the business from nothing. I've got my right-hand man in the studio with me right now, Tristan Watts, who's helped me build this business from 2015 to now, and we built it into an empire. But it started as an idea, right? So if you got an idea that you want to happen and you want to put to seed, you put it in the ground, right? You plant it, right? You nurture the seed, you water it, you let nature do its thing, and then it grows into something, right? I want the platform to be stood on of empowering people to do the same thing with their voices. Some people can't vote, but can you rally, right? Some people don't understand the structure of politics, but can you get involved, right? Some people don't have the resources to give money, but can you give your time? So if you want to make a real change, let's do it at the small level, right? It's a tear in your shirt. So the tear starts out very small. But you pull that string, what could happen?
It's going to expand.
That whole sleeve could come off of that shirt, right?
Absolutely.
That's what empowering people on the local level is. We get enough people involved in something. It's not just about your vote. It's about your voice. It's about your body. It's about your presence. And it's also about you getting involved into something that's true and real and you can put your hands on. It's very difficult to put your hands on the presidency. Now, we can go take a flight and stand outside the White House. We might not never see him. But somebody like me runs from office. You can touch me. You can put your hands on it. We could put our resources together, our money together. We can march the streets together. Like imagine being in the time when King lived and being next to him, marching those streets. I'm not trying to say I'm a Martin Luther King. It's an idea.
Absolutely.
That I may not be king, you could be king. But we're together and we're building something with the same idea and the same tenacity that he had for one common goal. And what's that goal? To show people that if we want real change, let's come together. That's all races. You know what I mean? Let's all come together and show them that, look, we're not against each other. We want to be one. We want our voices to be heard, and to do that, it's numbers. It's not just about one person running from something. That doesn't change anything. It's about the numbers. And so when I first started considering running for this position, I was like, the most important thing to do is to get people involved that don't know anything about politics.
Absolutely.
And to wake them up. with self-empowerment and tell them, look, get involved. Let's do something together. And not just sit back and say, man, I wish this would be like this, like you just said, or I wish this would change. And let's educate the normal people. Let's educate them to say, look, you can do something right now to make a difference. If you believe something in your heart to be true and you want it to be changed, let's just change it together.
Absolutely. And I highly agree. Because you're gonna have don't I feel like don't complain if you're not taking initiative. So everybody has a part to play. Like you said, if you don't have the money, become part of the rally. If you don't have don't have the time, put in some form of effort.
That's it.
Put the effort in somewhere.
Right.
Everybody has a part to play because there's so many positions that I think they can actually be played within it.
Exactly. And I ain't telling you to vote for me. I would love it. I would love your vote. I'm just telling you to vote and get involved. But we are going to have a coming out party pretty soon. I'm going to make sure I get you the information so that you can come and, give it out to the listeners and stuff. And in this coming out party, we're going to educate everybody on what a local election is, who can vote, who can't vote, where the vote is, when the voting day is. So the voting date is actually May 2021 because that's the actual election. Okay. It's May 2021. So we got a little time, but we don't have a lot of time. But we want to educate people and get them to come out and get volunteers. If you want to volunteer your time, if you want to volunteer your energy, if you want to be involved, that's what the coming out party is, and to explain to everybody what the mechanics are behind this election and what it's really about. You know what I mean? And why should you get involved if you even want to?
Absolutely, man. So, man, I appreciate you for
having
you.
I appreciate you, man.
Definite honor, man. Enlighten me, enlighten the people.
Yes, sir.
And, man, we're looking forward, man. We rooting for you. Yes, I'm rooting for you. I'm going to root for you as a black man.
Yes, sir. Thank
first
you.
And foremost, man, and just kind of making a change, in the community and having that vision.
Yes, sir.
And that pushing with us as a whole. You definitely will have my vote if I can vote.
Yes, sir. And if not, we need your body and your voice.
Definitely,
you still have an audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's you
sure.
voting by you pushing your audience to wake up and to do something. So if you can't physically do it, you telling them, hey, y'all do it.
Yeah.
Y'all rally together. Let's
do
rally.
Do it for me. Do it for us. Cool, man. Awesome. Here we are. We back again. Mash presents King Talk 101. Got a special guest in here, Mean Mug.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Here we are, man. So we want our topic right now will be kind of discussing police brutality. A lot of things that we see in the media and things like that, and it's different seeing it in the media and having someone next to you who have been a victim of police brutality.
Right.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Shane Gregory, government name, 901036. That's my TDC number. They call me Mean Mug. It ain't nothing, just no Honduras. Like, I'm not no scary guy, nothing like that. I just can't see. So I'll be squinting and look like I'm mugging.
Okay.
That's where they get that from. And I also go by Holy Shane, meaning that, I'm an unlikely messenger. You know what I'm saying? And what I got to say, a lot of people ain't going to understand or even agree with. And when I say a lot of people, I'm speaking more so of our people. Okay. You get what I'm saying? The black community, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm this guy who made a couple of bad decisions, in my adolescent life, and it made long-lasting effects that, I went through, and that a lot of other people are going through today. This happened to me probably, 2002? That's 18 years ago. Mm-hmm. And before me, it was people getting, done killed, shot, beat up, all these different things. And it's like, what do we do about that? So my thing is that I can only speak from where I sit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can only speak from where I sit. I can only have a perception from where I see. And the big thing is I'm not that guy that, says that, oh, it was the police fault. They KKK. They hate us. So what, so forth.
But I'm going to cut you off. Mm-hmm. Today in the world we live in today, man, so many people, we like to play the race card.
Right.
The race card, man. And then we go into the Black Lives Matter, and
right.
then we go into the whole marching, and we go into the whole ordeal.
Yeah, man.
But what you're saying is all of that could have been prevented if what?
If I knew how to respond to authority.
Okay.
Not even know how. If I would have responded correctly to authority, I wouldn't have been shot. I wouldn't have my teeth knocked out, and it's, by the grace of God that I'm here. You see what I'm saying? And, I was just one of the ones that took the gun after he shot me. You know what I'm saying? After he shot me, I realized I was shot. I could tell it was an accident, but now I'm thinking you'll shoot me again. Because the thing is, why these guys are dead is because a dead man can't talk. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
So you don't think, I'm going to say, we'll say in most cases.
Okay.
In most cases. So you could say, a dead man can't talk, but right now, back in your day, during that time, there wasn't the video, there wasn't the thing, so everything that you kind of, so your major kids, the videos, and like, well, man, you could see it right here,
right?
But do they always show the entire part of the video?
Right. It's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're watching the sideline, you're gonna catch the video from the sideline.
Absolutely.
If you're looking at it from the police cam, you're going to catch it from the police cam. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? If you're from the victim, you're going to catch it from the victim. So basically what I'm saying is I knew that this police officer didn't mean to shoot me. I knew it was an accident, but I had to respond like I was about to die because I know what happens. Mm-hmm. And, anybody who has their gun license that's not a felon, in this class they tell you shoot to kill if you fear your life. And the reason they tell you to shoot to kill if you in fear of your life, because if you tell me you in fear of your life and don't have a body to show for it, you wasn't in fear of your life. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And them are type of moments that in court is unexplainable. In life, you can even talk to some killers. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? In prison. And they'll tell you it was a moment.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was a moment that I had to make this decision.
It's that quick instinct. Okay, mm-hmm. What I need to do, that quick reaction. That's what came out about that time. But I didn't mean to take it this far.
Right.
Or my intention wasn't to kill him. But
coming.
Here it is. I had to defend myself.
You had to stay alive because you was in fear of your life.
But also let's face reality. Mm-hmm. We'll face reality. A lot of us black men, even young boys, police officers, they're intimidated by us. Mm-hmm. In many ways. They're intimidated by us, and a lot of them, I feel like, have been taught that.
Right. So
we're stereo. I'm gonna say this: we've been stereotyped.
Right. As monsters.
Yes, absolutely. You agree?
As apes.
Yes.
And all this type of thing.
Uh-huh. So I think, man, that kind of
and I'm an honest guy. So what I'm trying to identify right now before I go any further is I want to tell my stance, who I'm talking to, where I'm talking from, and I'm talking to the streets. I'm not talking to any political background people, people who live life by the law. I'm not talking to these type of people. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to the people from where I come from and the people that I know.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So the first thing is that if I see any type of criminality breaking out, I'm going to turn my head. I'm going to turn my cheek. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm turning my cheek is because I'll say street law is.
That ain't my business.
It ain't my business.
It ain't my business. I ain't see it.
Right.
And we keep it pushing.
But you know what the real reason is?
What's that?
I'm scared.
Okay.
Because I know if I approach this situation, it can come out one or two ways. I may end up fighting. I may end up getting killed. So what I'm gonna do is, guess what I'm gonna do? I might turn the other cheek, and it keep going. And now, the police is called. Mm-hmm. They called to a criminal mischief going on. I'm not coming to nothing that I'm called to without my guards up.
Yeah.
You already told me what's going on. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, something just happened a couple weeks ago where a dude was on a motorcycle being approached by the police, and he kept going and got away from them and then got hit by a truck.
I actually seen that.
You get what I'm saying?
I seen that.
And it's like, that's why I love
how he would have responded. How he would have responded, no matter if you would have went to jail, called a case or whatever, you'll still be alive.
And I'm just talking to street people.
Absolutely.
Because we play cops and robbers since we was little kids. Mm-hmm. So when you get caught, you got to take your lick.
Yeah. We're taught that coming up in the street, man. Claim your fame, take your lick,
take your lick,
that type of thing.
You do the time, do the crime, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But when I was reading your shirt, MASH, I had seen like you're an organization that's trying to help, give tools to the streets, to the community, all these different type of things. And I have a similar vision. My vision is go to jail. I'm trying to get these guys to just, hey man, if you get caught, just go to jail. You know what I mean? And I use 3 R's.
Okay.
Resist, run, and rat. You'll get killed for all of them. And the only reason why I'm resist, run, or rat is because I don't want to go to jail. Mm-hmm. So if I don't want to go to jail, I need to get out of this arena.
Yeah, it's not for you.
It's really not for nobody.
Yeah, it's not for you.
Now, do you have white supremacists that's police officers? Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're taught to do they're taught to vote. They're taught to stay clean. They're taught the law. We're not taught none of this.
And they're taught racism.
What we're taught is racism, and we're also taught how to beat the system. And when you're taught how to beat the system, you work your way out because you're nameless. Mm-hmm. Put this in such and such name, or do it this way, or get a profile, or do this, or do that. Because all we want as black people is status. That's how we measure ourselves. You get what I'm saying? By what you wear, what kind of car you drive, where you live. If you ask any, and now I'm speaking to the law-abiding citizens of our neighborhoods that we call the hood. Mm-hmm. Stop 6, South Side, Como. Let's just talk to these people that ain't doing no crimes. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You ask them one question. What's your biggest hope? What's your greatest hope? The first thing they gonna say is get out the hood.
Well, when you in the hood, that's always the hood vision. We finna hustle to get out the hood, mm-hmm. hustle to get out the hood. How that don't often happen.
Never.
It don't often happen. And a lot of us, these same hoods that we're going to jail in, we're killing for, we're killing somebody else for, we don't own a damn thing in there.
We don't own it.
We don't own shit.
But it's ours.
So you say.
So we say, right? But guess what our leaders do? Civil rights activists. Guess what they do? They not in the hood.
They don't supposed to be.
Why? They're our leaders. They speak for us. Mm-hmm. So to speak for me, you have to be touched by what I'm going through. If you ain't touched by it and you're only responding to it, then you're just like them. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So the key is to become like our fellow neighbors, which are Hispanics and Africans and Europeans and all these other type of cultures, which are our neighboring countries. If we come to this country illegal, we understand that we got to get legal. So what they do is they come in, they get legal, and now guess what they do? They celebrate Cinco de Mayo on May the 5th, and they go right back to America. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? They had their little fun. They do what they gonna do, have their little barbecue, how they gonna do it, and then they go back to the system of the way things are ran. And now they have a place and an opportunity to build and own land because we don't want it. So as soon as we leave to go to another neighborhood, they buy our land, tear it down, and rebuild it.
So let me ask you this: do you think it's not so much as that we don't want it? We're not taught that.
Yeah, we're not knowledgeable.
Yeah, we're not knowledgeable. We're not knowledgeable that of that, and it goes back to what we spoke about off air. We have we're fatherless.
Right.
We're fatherless.
Incomplete.
We don't have that. We don't even have that. That role model.
And see, like when you say fatherless, it just don't mean
Biologically,
yeah. You
for
get
sure,
what I'm saying?
sure.
And it's like they have a saying that says, it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. And I see a lot of posts where they talking about how these parents ain't no parents no more. These parents don't really, look after their kids like they supposed to. But what about the village? See, the kids don't look at the parents as influence. They look at the village. Uh-huh. You get what I'm saying? So it's the village's fault. And the thing is that all our fathers, they leave. Civil rights activists are fathers, but they leave. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like y'all don't hear nothing that we saying. You know what I mean? And it should be deeper than racism. Because my whole life, I don't want to put, none of my grandparents on blast, but I done heard racist remarks all my life.
Well, we're taught that, like, it goes back to, man, you as a child, mm-hmm. you react off of what you see mm-hmm. or what's been said to you.
Right.
So we don't know that. We don't know the police, they going to kill all black people. Or, sit up because we black, we walking around here, they going to kill us because my mama said it or my granddaddy said it or mm-hmm. whatever. That's where I think where we fail at in our community because we plant this in the youth head.
Yeah, it's deep too.
And
it's deep rooted.
And I think us black men, even some black women, you'll see it when we're approached by the police officer, we automatically get aggressive. Like we mad aggressive. And you're in the wrong. Like how can I be if I'm in a drug infested area and the police pull up on me, I know I gotta abide by the law right now.
Right.
Because I know that I know what right. area I'm in. So there's no way that I should never get offensive or you know how you kind of play the system.
Yeah.
As we said, you play the system.
Go to jail.
Play
you
the system.
One free call.
Yeah, officer, here I go. Whatever.
But the thing is, we don't got nobody to call.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So it's like I'm trying to get these civil rights activists to give us y'all number so we can hit y'all up. You know what I'm saying? That like we got to start thinking of solutions. Uh-huh. Instead of just telling what the problem is. We know what the problem is. But one thing that I know is that I'm not no thermostat. You not a thermostat. Can't nobody make you change your temperature. Uh-huh. But we allow that to happen. You get what I'm saying? and now I'm speaking to our community, our culture. I'm speaking to our culture.
Say it.
If we honest.
Yeah, say it.
If we could be out to eat, and that group of people, we all talking about all of us the same color in this building, and that group of people get to acting like,
yes,
what we gonna do? Oh man, I wish they ain't got no home training.
Blame game.
That's what we do.
We go back. That's the blame game. That's the blame game.
Are they just like they say we are? Look at them. They just proving them right.
That's our stereotype.
That's what we do. But we're the racists. We treat them same people like the other race feels. Mm-hmm.
So would you say like when?
It's no way around racism.
No, not at all. It can't be when we kill one another.
No, and see, when I say racism around racism, I'm not talking about hate. Mm-hmm. I'm just talking about the fact that I'm American and they're from Spain or from Africa or from here or from there. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm going to always be against them. So whatever you're not, you're going to have a comparison. You get what I'm saying? It's never going to go nowhere. And people have to understand that. Like it's
are we taught that?
Yeah.
We're taught that.
But it's not just a teaching. It's like the you don't have to teach the predator to go after the prey. They know that.
So that's the problem. So what would be your way, Shane's way? What would be his solution? What would be a solution to that?
The solution to that would be application. Application. So what we do is we protest. I feel like you shouldn't have to protest. Just start applying it. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, I can't stop how you see me. Because I know the first thing that gives you anything of a vision of me,
It's a negative vision.
is who though?
You are.
Is myself.
Yeah.
I'm the first one who can give you a vision of me.
Somebody on the outside looking in won't see that or understand that.
But that's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. You can only stereotype me when you see me coming. You get what I'm saying? It's just no way around it. But it's when I open my mouth that I get you.
You get your
I reel you in.
You'll get your attention.
Because
You'll
none
get
of
their
that
attention.
matters. And see, the civil rights movement is a voice. We fighting for this voice. We fighting for this say. We want to say so. You get what I'm saying? But we never really understand the revelation. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Trump being president don't mean that we got this dummy in office. It shows me that anybody can be a president.
Absolutely.
Obama didn't show me that. Obama didn't show me that I can be the president one day. Trump did.
So why would you say Trump out of Obama? Like with Obama, he didn't give you that
I never felt it
aspiration?
at all. Because he excuse me, he was never raised like me. He not from the hood of Chicago. You get what I'm saying? He not none of that. He was raised with his white grandparents.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? He was raised in that culture. So he's knowledgeable.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
He's not incomplete. So he had a route to take.
So
when I say Trump,
yeah, that's my question.
oh man, this man done committed some things. He done did some things. He done got away with some things. He still don't care what you think about him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm similar to him. More so to speak than Obama. Obama is a great upstanding man from what I see.
From what we see.
From what we see, I would vote for him. But for somebody to make president that you wouldn't vote for shows me that I can be president one day. Me.
No, absolutely. I agree. I agree with you 100%. 100%. So let me ask you this. So speaking to the streets,
Okay.
to avoid that police brutality, what steps would you encourage our youth? 'Cause we got it bad.
Right. First of all, we got to stop trying to beat the system. Get a license. Go get your license. Go get insurance. Go get your tags and inspection, and stop riding around with paper plates.
Giving them a cause.
Paper plates. You got paper plates on your car.
Yeah.
The car ain't registered.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you giving them probable cause, like you said, to pull you over. You get what I mean? And we just do a lot of negligence.
So what
it's
if
a lot of negligence.
So again, what if they all pulled over? What if the tax was
Everything
legit,
passes.
everything passes, and they're still approached by the police officer?
The main thing to do is really be quiet and follow instructions. The last time I was in the right, and it's like I have a counselor that tells me, like, how to look outside of myself, right? You right, Mug, you right. They wrong, but will that change the outcome?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Especially when you don't have the upper hand.
Not at all.
You don't have the upper hand.
Not at all. So don't give it back to him. So that was my problem. Like, I know you wrong, so I got you. And that's when I got my teeth knocked out. Because all I had to do was get this man my license and registration and insurance, and got out the car. I probably wouldn't even have to get out the car, but I asked the man, I said, for what? I'm parked. You just pulling me over for what? He said, don't worry about it, get out. put my hands on his hood, handcuffed me, looked me right in my eyes, and like just me and you looking at each other, I can give you a look that lets you know intimidation.
Absolutely. That's an issue. That's an issue.
Right? And that's what I did. I gave him a look. I kind of stiffed, and he just started swinging me. And my mouth hit the pavement, and I had a bridge similar to this, and it just knocked all my teeth out. Girlfriend right there, her daughter had to call my brother to the scene, and it's just like the grace of God. So I'm a very spiritual person. I know your last guest, our future mayor of Arlington, said I was a pastor. I'm not. I'm not a pastor. I'm an unlikely messenger. I love God, trump my life, most definitely. But I have to be who I was in a good light. So I don't go nowhere with it. Like I just got through talking to a whole youth basketball camp. And I don't go in with the suits or none of that because
that's not who you are.
You see the
BS. It's your presentation. Right. Why would you go in there in that way?
It's misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading.
It's misleading.
Absolutely.
So that's what I try to show them. Like, I'm what y'all looking at. I'm what street credibility is, but I can't get a house. I can't get a house.
Why not?
Because my credit ain't right. Like my street credibility is.
Oh.
That's
okay.
what I'm. That's
okay. Now you got me.
It's together now.
You went over my head. You went over my head. I give you that. I give you that.
But at the age of 40, I shouldn't be worried about that now. I was supposed to be getting that together, but I was getting my street cred right. You know what I'm saying? I was getting my chest big. You know what I'm saying? Trying to have some type of look that people would think of me.
What did the street cred get you?
Oh, man. It don't get you nothing but heartache.
Heartache, right?
Heartache. And it's like you love the street so much, but it takes so much from us. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think just to change this, we got to start getting these old guys, old gang members, old dope dealers, just a whole bunch of different guys that look like us to start, infiltrating the street. Like, I think we really need to take our community back. Bloods, brothers leading others out of darkness. Crips, community revolution in progress. And I think we need to stand by that. You can't stop what you started.
Exactly.
You can only change it. And the word is changing the Constitution. That's what I want to see done in the street life. Let's change the Constitution, and it's up to us. You know what I'm saying? And being spiritual, I'm enlightened a lot by the Spirit of God. I see things differently. Nothing different is going on under the sun since the beginning of time. You get what I'm saying? So they've always been looking for the Messiah.
Okay.
And they don't think that Jesus was the Messiah. A lot of people, right? So King Herod put out a hit on the first seed because he didn't know who the Messiah was. That's still going on today. After generation after generation. I can get real biblical with you just to let you see it. But
the thing about it is that, again, like I said, man, being that we're able to acknowledge the problem, it's time to seek that solution within that problem.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're gonna get to that point, man. Like I said, man, it was good having you.
Oh, for sure, man.
I really think, man, you have something huge going. I think, man, a lot of people, man, especially coming from the communities that we come from, we can really relate it. And even if you can't relate, you should still be able to learn from another person's situation, although you've never actually been through that.
Right.
So, man, it was definitely a pleasure to have you.
Yes, sir.
Along here with us, man. And there's just so many topics and so much growth and so much work that we have to do as a whole, as you stated. And whatever it takes for us to have to come together as one to make it happen and build and grow.
Right.
Because everything, man, the youth, we're going to depend on the youth in the near future. So, and we have to just fully lead by example. So,
boy.
And then we got to, like you said, it take a village.
It take a village, man.
So, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. King Talk 1-on-1. Unfortunately, my partner, Josh, he didn't make it today, but we will be back next Thursday.
Yes, sir.
We have a major topic. We really got something really, really, really major in play. you know, that a lot of people really gonna be interested in. The city of Fort Worth is gonna be really huge. Probably one of the biggest podcasts that we even have. So just be looking forward to that. Shout out to everybody who's that support me, support us to match the vision. King Talk 101. You know, your brothers, your sisters, you know, just that whole force that we really trying to create. You know, salute to all you guys and you girls, and we'll make it happen and push as a force. We are.